veterinary medicine in '88. So I'm back home working, Yonkers, New York, and reside in Putnam Valley with my family.
Putnam Valley.
Yes.
What is Putnam Valley?
That's actually it's about 30 miles north of White Plains. White Plains is just outside of it's Westchester County is where White Plains is, and Putnam Valley is in Putnam County.
My cousin is in Putnam County, Putnam Valley, Westchester County, New York. Is that correct?
Well, Putnam Valley, Putnam County, just north of Westchester County.
Just quickly, Uncle, you know about this county where he's from. What type of area is that?
It's the country.
Putnam Valley, where Gerald lives, is a rural area that really kind of like affluent.
Okay.
You won't find too many black people living up there,
Wow.
but you will find good living up there because it's spacious and it's a nice place to raise children.
And when you were in New York, what years were they? Well, first of all, let's give you your credence, your credentials. How young are you?
Let me make a
Oh, here, that's Uncle.
I've taken a mic from it.
I know you, and as an interviewer, you're never supposed to do that. But I got to do that with you. Go ahead.
I just want to make a correction to what you said. You said that I am your oldest uncle.
Living.
I'm also your youngest uncle.
Wow.
Matter of fact, I think I'm your only uncle. I think that's the way it goes.
Straight out of the Lion King.
Yeah. I am your only uncle. So I'm the oldest, the youngest, and the uncle.
Thank you for that correction.
On my last birthday, I was 73 years old, and I told my son, and I'm telling you, I'm gonna live to be 120.
Congratulations, Uncle. I plan to be there with you. Thank you so much. Now, can you answer my question?
What's your question?
How long ago were you in New York?
I left New York in 2004, and I moved down here to Atlanta, Georgia.
When you were in New York, the place that Gerald's living now, how was that?
I didn't live in the place where Gerald lives now.
Okay.
I lived in Brooklyn, New York. Brooklyn, New York is light years different from Putnam County, New York.
Oh, okay.
It is totally different. I rode the subways to work. I commuted by using my car for short distances. But when I'm going around in the city, I always was on the subway.
So that's one of the reasons why I like subways.
Yeah, that's why you like subways, because you can get around, move around.
Gerald, as a GIV'AN,
Yes, sir.
what have you found that is a common denominator amongst the men in our family?
I say we have strong genes. So all of our offspring, at least my siblings,
Sure.
resemble each other.
Right?
My brother's son, my daughter, they're 3 months apart, but they look like twins.
Wow.
So I think our lineage is strong.
Okay.
In that aspect.
And what type of work do you do now?
I'm a veterinarian, doctor of veterinary medicine.
Wow. How long you been doing that?
21 years.
21 years.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations, my cousin.
Thank you very much.
Tell me about your family.
Okay, I have my lovely wife, Londa.
Okay.
We've been married 21 years.
Congratulations.
And she's a physical therapist.
Okay.
I have a son, my only son actually.
Sure.
He's 18 years old. He's first year student at California University of Pennsylvania.
All right.
Majoring in business management. Have a 16-year-old daughter, 11th grader. She's phenomenal. She's as smart as the day is long. I mean, she works at it. Marcus is smart too, but he's just God-given smart. She works at it.
Okay.
And then I have my youngest daughter, Naya. She beats the band.
How old is Naya?
Naya's 6 years old.
So, from 18 to 6,
Yes, sir.
Cuz still producing.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna be producing anymore because.
The key is that you have a beautiful family.
Yes, sir.
And you've been married for 21 years.
Yes, sir.
And we like to give credence to families. We like to, especially those that have sustained themselves. Because y'all know my situation. So the question is, what are some of the tips of longevity that you've been able to use for sustainability in your marriage?
Well, I mean, in every relationship, you're gonna have ups and downs, trials and tribulations.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you just have to have a real good understanding of the person.
Got it.
You know, your mate, communication, which I've gotten a lot better with.
Got it.
I would say my marriage has gone in, I would say, stages.
I do.
And right now I'm in a pretty good stage right
Good.
now. So things are going relatively well.
Congratulations.
So,
And you're there. That's the key.
yeah.
I
Yes.
mean, there's nothing wrong with anything. Everything has its own purpose and divine order. Uncle,
Yes, sir.
wow, you know how long?
I'll have you know
Yes. What you got?
that I've got some longevity in marriage too. I was married to his mother for 30 years. 30 years. And after 30 years, for some reason, we split.
Right.
But we are the best of friends now, and our children and our grandchildren are an integral part of our lives.
How was it, man? How was it to sustain yourself for 30 years in a particular relationship?
It was tough with me because of my indiscretions, which were not always pure and noble things that I did. I got off into some things that I shouldn't have gotten into, but my life has evolved and things have changed in my life.
Okay.
So that now, with what I know, I can live a better life.
You are living a better life, Uncle. Hey, look, let me just say this. Ever since I known you, you lived a good life. I mean, you was always happy, and you displayed happiness when I was around. That's what constitutes who we are. Whatever is going on, we're capable of
Masking it. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Yeah, I did have a good life, and I've always had a good life.
Right.
Just some things happened that caused his mother and I to split.
Right.
But we are the best of friends now.
At 72 years old, that's a mess.
73.
73. Good God Almighty. I love correction, and with my uncle, there's no room for anything.
It's always been that way. Always been that way.
So, Gerald, wait a minute. I'm glad you brought that point up. First of all, how many brothers and sisters you have?
I have 3 siblings.
Okay.
I have one older brother,
Okay.
Hosea, or Joey. We
Right.
call him Joey. Sister, only girl, Jeannie,
Right.
and then Mike.
Okay.
And we are all 16 months apart. I don't know
Wow.
if you ever knew that. Yep. All 16 months apart.
How was it in that type of environment? It must have been kind of restful, restless. 16 months apart, that's a lot of energy.
It was a lot of energy. I was the middle child. I always say there's nothing special about me because I wasn't the oldest, I wasn't the youngest, and I wasn't the only girl. So I was just there in the middle. So it was always a lot of activity at our house.
Yeah.
We were a pretty popular family in the neighborhood we grew up in.
Really?
So we
Well,
always
you
had-
grew up in Brooklyn?
No. He lived in Brooklyn later on in his years. We
Okay.
grew up in Queens.
Queens.
We moved into the house that I grew up in a month before I was born.
Wow.
And we're there until I guess my mom just recently moved out. Well, not recently, but moved out. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's like over, what, 30 years?
Yeah, we were at that house over 30 years.
And why was the family such a popular place to be around?
We had 4 kids.
Sure.
So, we were pretty popular in the neighborhood. We were always active, always into stuff, sports, good stuff. I mean, we were,
Right.
We didn't get into a lot of trouble.
Basketball court in the backyard.
We had a basketball court.
On
in
the
backyard.
garage.
Yeah. Well, it was it started on the garage, and then we
What?
made a flagstone.
What? I just remember the one that was on the
Fiberglass board.
Yeah. was nice.
10 feet high, regulation.
So we always had kids, you know, coming in the neighborhood, coming from around the neighborhood, playing in our backyards. And
I didn't have to worry about them because I always knew where they were. It would usually be in the backyard.
or down in the basement,
Or
playing
down in the
ping pong,
basement playing ping pong, yes.
table tennis. Yeah,
So the family was close. That's good.
pretty close. I'd say we're pretty close.
Queens, New York, what, 70s, 80s?
60s and 70s is when we grew up. Yeah.
When that time came, there was some pretty interesting characters came through Queens, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like the DMC.
Run DMC, right? LL Cool J,
Okay.
Mark Jackson.
Mark Jackson, basketball player.
Did you have a chance to even interact with any of them?
Yeah, actually, I used to tutor Run from Run DMC.
Tutor him?
In high, well, not really tutor him. We had a summer program.
Got it.
So I worked as a facilitator.
Okay.
And when we had incoming students, he was one of the students that I had tutored. So my brother went to, he was in kindergarten with DMC.
Wow.
And
Played basketball with Mark Jackson.
yeah, played ball with Mark
Who
Jackson.
did that?
He played in,
He
Dad's basketball league.
We had a basketball league at that time, and Mark Jackson came up through that. Mark Jackson was at the age of 12. We knew that he was going to be something great because he was great then. He was a leader. He was a person that took charge. He was a person with a purpose, and he was clean living.
So, Uncle, you actually had a basketball league?
Yeah, for 12 years we had a basketball league in Hollis, Queens. Every Saturday morning, it was the whole neighborhood kind of like joined in for going down to the local high school. 12 teams, 12 players on a team, girls program. You know, it was something.
Wow. I'm just glad to talk a little bit about the history. Your brothers, what are they doing now? My cousins. Let me say it like that. My cousins. What are they doing now?
That same basketball league that you mentioned,
Yeah.
that Dad was running back then.
Right.
Joey, my oldest brother, has resurrected that, so he's running that full scale now. Under the
He's resurrected the basketball league?
yes, it's called I Love Our Youth now,
And he just called me the other day and told me that they had started their current season, and he's going to have a 40th year reunion next year.
That would include you.
That would include me. He would
And
bring
you initiated it.
me and another fellow named Cecil Holler. We started the league in 1971.
So the community involvement is in the family.
Yeah. All of my family was a part of that league. They were players. My wife was was involved with the scorekeepers. My daughter was involved with keeping the scores and with the girls program. It was something.
Gerald, how did that help you? Oh, you were about to say
I
that.
was gonna finish up. You asked me my siblings. My
Right.
sister, she's back home. She's staying with my mom. She was out in California, helping with my mom, who has gotten older.
Sure.
She's getting challenges, so she's helping out with mom.
Okay.
And she's also just started getting out into the working world now again.
Okay.
Mike, he works with the New York City
School Construction
School.
Authority.
And then he also does his freelance. He builds chest walls.
Vertical
Vertical
chest
chest walls.